Right, hello YouTube, welcome back for a new thing from the depths. You join me here with a fairly nice replica of the IJN Yamato. I believe it's IJN? IJN, yes. This was the largest real-world battleship that was ever built. There are bigger ones that have been planned, but none ever made it remotely this close to being completed. And the reason we have this here today is because I'm thinking the next campaign that we're going to do, because of course we recently completed Nita. Some bombs hitting. Spawned in a few German fighters and bombers as well to make a bit of a battle here. Is going to be a fan-made campaign. I figured I'd have a look at what the modders have been up to. There's not a huge amount of complete, or at least still maintained, campaigns for From the Depths, but it's not a zero amount either. This is one called Finest Hour, I believe. This is a somewhat realistic one. I say realistic, supposedly these ships are made to compete with equal cost Nita designs. Which, I mean, I don't know if that's true, but it's quite impressive if it is. So we'll be fighting historical designs. We'll be making some, not actually historical designs, we'll make some pseudo-historical ones. We'll make some stuff that's using the same rules and limitations. Which for the basics are missiles, no. Bombs are fine. Guided torpedoes are fine, no missiles. Rockets would technically be fine. Rockets were used in World War II as a weapon, which are unguided missiles. No. It doesn't say no lasers, but it will be no lasers or particle cannons. Those just weren't a thing at the time, so no using those. No Sea-Wiz, that wasn't a thing either. Yeah, no crams was the other one as well. We're going to be limited pretty much to missiles. No, not missiles. Rockets, bombs, torpedoes, guns, specifically advanced cannons and simple weapons. And I think that's basically it. And I think that's what we're going to do. We do have a few mods on. I realised this thing was spawning without a lot of its weaponry. It only had like wooden blocks, where there clearly were supposed to be anti-aircraft guns. The only thing is, the mod authors have a link to the Discord page on the mod page, which, cool, great. What they have failed to do is make sure that link actually works, or something has gone wrong with it. I think it even says they'd updated it recently, but the link to the Discord is currently not functional. So I was not able to look up a mod list, so I've installed a bunch of mods that I thought might be the right ones. And it seems to have spawned in with guns working, I believe. We're going to be good, but if I see any ships that don't have guns working, I'll maybe take a second crack at looking into the various mods and see what I can find. I guess they haven't used the ship decorations pack, because that would have made building this a whole lot easier, but yeah, so that's kind of what we're thinking for the next campaign. I think this Yamato's going to win it, but it's hard to say, honestly. I believe also for rangefinders, we probably won't be using the laser distance finder. We'll try and use, again, historical stuff, so thermal sights are technically okay. I don't think they were used on ships particularly, but they were used on some aircraft and some tanks, specifically German ones, towards the end of the war. Not that matters too much, because jet engines are also going to be rare. We're going to try to keep it to propeller-driven for aircraft. But we will try and have some aircraft. Radar is fine. There were some ships with radar in the war, and optical rangefinding is going to be a large part of it as well. I believe these even have... Oh, these are not rangefinders. No, really? They literally gave you 9-meter rangefinders. I'd have thought that'd be a perfect fit. Maybe it's the wrong size. I got one up on the tower here. No, this isn't even... Is this even a real one? They're hiding a real one in here? No. Wait, how is this ship's detection working then? Oh, okay. It does have small rangefinder turrets. That's unusual. It's not got rangefinders in the turrets themselves. They built things that look like them, but they haven't actually armed them with it. That's, again, very odd. But that's to replicate the fact that the Yamato's rangefinding was not the most superb. It wasn't dreadful, but it wasn't the best either. I don't know. Anyway, well, I did mention that this is the largest one that was actually ever built. There are some bigger ones in this game. I'll see if I can show off the huge one. I looked it up. Yeah, I think this is the biggest. I think this is the big boy. I won't look into how they built it, because I don't want to spoil that, but this is like the big terror for this campaign. I think this is the biggest thing in it. This was a World War I American study into what's the biggest battleship we could fit through the Panama Canal, basically, which is the big limit. And I mean, it's got 6 guns in the turret. I don't really need to say much more than that. It's got 6 guns in the turret for some reason. I don't know why they did this. But yeah, so that's theoretically one of the nastiest things we'll have to fight. Other things go include things like the Bismarck. British battleships would be things like the Hood. I think the Italians have got some big stuff. There's also Austro-Hungarian Empire. Don't have a clue what they would have. I'm aware they're a faction that exists. Beyond that, I don't know. What I do love, let's go over a few bits. I don't know how much actual campaign we'll be doing in this episode. I want to mostly set things up with this and maybe get some ideas on from you guys on if there's any faction we should maybe try to emulate in some way. I don't want to create direct copies of designs, but I can certainly take inspiration. I am very much a fan of, I believe it's things like the Lautaro and Zara, the Italian Navy, mostly for one very obvious reason that you'll see when the ships load in. Look at that. I love this. They have that on a lot of their big ships. They have the huge red and white stripes on them, and I really like that. I might have to steal that that little design aspect. Oh, they actually put portals on it. Ah, they're not actually portals, though. They're stronger. They've used the... Oh, that's cute. Little mimic pillars to look like portholes. There's some cute ideas on these ships that we can borrow, potentially. I do love how they've replicated the funnels. It's like the ship decorations mod I'm pretty sure already existed. Just use that. Oh dear. They look like they're okay, though. I'm not seeing any obviously missing components, which was the other thing I wanted to check. What are these? Are these secondary guns? They're weird looking. I hadn't seen these. I like the ship's design, but I've not had a proper look at it. I haven't had a look at from this one either. But yeah, so this is the sort of thing we're going to be trying to do. So we'll need some destroyers and things. We'll need some cruisers. We'll need some battleships. We'll need quite a bit. Let's have a look at this is what I actually did a model of for another video game. I actually modelled this for Waves of Steel, the Akazuki, so I want to see how they've done it. And stay still. Yeah, you know what? This actually does remind me of the one I made. Yeah. It's pretty good. Yeah, awful asymmetrical rear bridge that was a pain in the backside to model, and then I found out I didn't need to. The guy was like, no, it's fine. It would probably have been better being symmetrical, so I didn't say it. It's just like, oh, no. Oh, okay. Yeah, what were the other ones I did? I did the Akazuki, I did the... I think it was King George V, and... Oh, they haven't got it. I did the, what's the one that sits on the Thames? I can't think of the name, but, Belfast. Belfast. I don't know if any of those are Belfast sister ship, but... A little lumpier looking, but perfectly functional ship. 4 guns on the turrets. I'm guessing these are built by different people, because this has a different feel to its design. They still use the same trick, though, with the mimic portholes and things, but it hasn't got the barrels in the same way. But yeah, as you can see, these are some nice looking designs, and they've even got a little Supermarine Walrus as a seaplane, which I love, because this is one of my favourite aircraft from World War II. We've got a little one on the side. But yeah. So we're going to try and replicate... Well, not replicate, but we're going to try and do a realistic campaign. I thought this had tanks, and I don't know why I thought that, because it does not have tanks. Again, I don't know why I thought it did, but it's primarily ships. There are a few submarines. Oh, in fact, that's not even multiple submarines. That's just a U-boat pack. Yeah, they're the sort of U-boat era ones. They sort of all have this sort of semi-similar look. Have the Japanese got the mini-sub? I-15, is this the mini-sub? Got a little seaplane. Seaplane spotter. No, I think that's a normal submarine. It's still cute, though. Yeah, I was going to say, have they got torpedo tubes? They have. Wait, they actually move? Is that actually opening up? No, but it does look good. Yes, as you can see, torpedoes are guided. Now, I don't believe that's accurate to the time. Although I don't know when the first sonar-guided torpedoes came into existence, but... the other thing, of course, we'll need to do is have a look at planes, because we will need to make some. Oh, there's no swordfish. I was going to load in the swordfish to do some depth charge runs. Looks like the Germans have quite a lot. B1. Oh no, we might have to deal with a flying bomb equivalent. Where is it? Over there. Whistling around in the high atmosphere. That's actually very fitting given the noise they used to make. Yeah, like I say, I wanted to show off a little bit at least what stuff is actually in the campaign. Oh, what is the inside of this? Is it mostly Mimic? I think this is mostly Mimic. I wonder how this thing actually works. Oh, really, that's a weird looking craft on the internals in general. What happens when this thing actually connects, if it actually... Okay, it might just do that for a bit against underwater targets. Probably doesn't know how to deal with that. But yes, that's what we're thinking. Now, today, the one thing that was brought up right at the end of the campaign, for the land campaign, or for the normal Nita campaign, was our logistics were a little bit messy. And yeah, they were a little bit. We didn't have much. We didn't have them set up right, I don't believe. I think you're supposed to be able to set them to automatically do the manual offloading we were doing. So I'm thinking what we'll start with, as a basic design, is maybe a upgraded gatherer. But specifically as a gatherer and maybe just floating on the water rather than being a fortress. It'll give it a little bit of capability to move under its own power. I should also quickly go over the mods because, again, like I said, we've got a few more of them this time and we'll make use of some of them. We have the... Well, I don't mean some. We have the Armored Simple Weapons mod, which adds a bunch of pre-made turrets. Most of these are probably too modern. Gatling guns are going to be a no. They just weren't a thing at the time, but something like that we could probably use. Well, again, probably not that one specifically because it's too modern looking. I think most of these will be, but it's worth having a little look anyway. So I wasn't entirely sure which one a lot of the mods, a lot of the creations we're using. The Bomber Defense Turrets mod, we'll definitely be using that for our bombers. We will have some. All sorts of... I believe, based on real design bomber turrets, though we won't, again, be using Gatling guns, because not a thing. Simple weapons, we do still have these. I think these will probably be spec'd wrong, but we might try them. I think they'll probably be the wrong sort, but we might use that Twin 100, because that would look good on some destroyers, maybe. I'm going to try and keep aesthetics. Even some of the... I'm not even sure if this one's modded or not, but yeah, stuff like this looks quite convincing on designs meant to be of the time. Yeah, as we say, I think there's some other anti-air. This is a Whirlwind turret, I believe. This is quite a common anti-aircraft gun. Oh, T-34. Oh, T-class, yeah. T-34. Some even without certain parts. Yeah, it's a Japanese one with those sort of magazines. Cram, won't be using that. Anything else new? Missiles, again. Don't think there's any mods, but there are. We will be using missiles. Here we go, the next one. Yeah, for your real machine gun designs and things. Look at that monstrosity. It's MG Mark III. Oh, it even tells you where they're from, yeah. Type 96, Japanese Navy one. Yeah, I think that's right. It's got those curved mags. I think the one I thought might have been Japanese before probably is this little turret off the top of a... Panzer? No, Russian. Oh, no, it's the little light Russian tanks, isn't it? SH. Yeah, all sorts. Lewis gun, that's a British one. Quad mount, what would that be on? Coastal fastboats. Ah, a little speedboaty type thing. Okay. Goes up to slightly bigger stuff. This thing. God, look at all those magazines crammed in there. And presumably just sort of linked bar by the look of it, yeah, to control them all at once. Maybe some time synchronization, I don't know, but... Yeah, I think this is the one the Yamato was missing. For a lot of them, I believe. That's a Japanese Navy one. And they also have exposed versions as well. There's all sorts. Medium is starting to get to bigger stuff. So either the large multiple mounts or the stuff like the longer barrel stuff. Is that an 88? No, 45. Ah, I'll send that one as anti-air, but I'll take their word for it. Oh yeah, there's a few tank turrets. Yeah, because some of these were naval turrets originally. I believe the Russians especially had quite a few boats that made use of their tank turrets. Or I don't know if it was the other way around originally. The KV-2 famously is one of the ones that used that. A huge boxy KV-2 turret is off a ship. That's why it's so ungainly looking. Oh god, there's a whole bunch of those, is there? 76 mil. Oh no, it's just a bunch of 76 mil. This must have been a... Must be like an inches measurement thing where it was like a common measurement. The 88 famous German one, of course. Long-range AA gun that they decided was good enough to put on their boats as well, basically. Casemate guns, or deck-mounted ones. Was that where that weird Italian one's from? Maybe not, but it kind of looks like it. No, this is German. Oh yeah, and the 88 with a proper mount and everything. And even some bigger pre-made guns. Oh, is that the one? Oh, there's the weird Italian one. There we go. Is that definitely Italian? Yeah, Italian Navy. Stabilization gyros. Good accuracy, although faulty in real life. Okay. Yeah, laser targeters will be used for a flak, even though lasers aren't a thing. We're using that as our rough equivalent of time shells. So we're going to be able to use those. Like I say, I'm mostly, for this episode, having a little look at and show off of what we've got, the sort of thing we'll be looking at, and getting some ideas from you guys for like, hey, what sort of thing would we like to start with? Because also we've got to decide what we want to start with. I will, again, try and throw this pontoon, just starting a gatherer together, but as you can see, loads of guns. I mean, that's Japanese, isn't it? Yep. 30. Oh, hang on. Maybe we have got the KB2 turret. Oh, no, not quite. That doesn't look like it. We've got up to 150. Sort of dreadnought style, yeah, casemate gun. Yes, there's some full-on pre-made turrets as well. That'll make some of our gun building a little easier. I think I'm happy to use these, seeing as the AI clearly are. It's what the more simple weapons. Small casemates? Ah. God, look at this thing. Oh, wow, okay. It's quite intimidating looking when you actually see the whole thing. But also a lot smaller than it looks. 88mm casemate? Okay, so that's the more simple weapons. Lasers, pack. Won't be touching these. Oh, look. They've actually banned them. You actually can't use them. But you can use these. I have a feeling that's because these didn't exist at the time this campaign was maybe started, but we will not be using them. Yeah, see, was banned. Smoke is available. Decoys are apparently available. This is jamming, but I really don't think jamming was a thing back then. I could be wrong. Decorations. We do have the ship decoration pack, right? Yep, so we still got all this stuff. All sorts of bits and pieces, searchlights and things. Try and get some of those on our ships. What else have we got? Cannon foundry. These might be a little old-fashioned, but we have some broadside guns if we need them. Still got the engine packs. Yeah, I think that's most of it. So yes, we do have quite a bit to work with. But again, for the moment, let's quickly get this little pontoon gatherer thing together. Maybe a barge. Actually, yeah, maybe rather than a pontoon, let's do this as a barge, a bit like the old, sort of like the old Orsinus. So we use the wooden tugboat hull to speed this up because we want to get started quite quickly. We will also, this is another one that I will maybe leave to you guys a little bit. We will want a new colour scheme for this campaign. We don't want to use the same one. We're going to use a new one. So if you guys have any input on what you'd like our colour scheme to be, let me know. Otherwise, I will work something out for us. I may tweak it. I may not necessarily use suggestions, but I might as well ask if you guys would like to have some input. We'll paint it with our old fleet colours, the blue and yellow. Well, for now, we will copy their existing design. We're going to lengthen it. It's going to need some storage on board as well. But it really isn't a bad design, so we'll use some of it. Have they done this? Is this a... It's one of those and then a 2 for measuring the distance. One of those and a 2. We'll do our own thing for the last bit. This looks like it's the black. Just do one at the back like that. That'll just be a 3 in the middle. That's right. Yeah. And the yellow trim for the top. What does that not have a... Oh, right, because it wasn't the back of the ship, was it? It's rubber. Okay, so that's to stop damage from collision. That's fine. Right. It's supposed to be wood, shouldn't it? It's cheap. It's not very durable, but that's fine. It's also not a direct warship. We'll save this under a new folder as well. we'll have a new set of designs for this campaign. We won't be reusing any because they're the wrong style. Oh, come on, where is it? Campaign? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? A lot of files got mixed up. Oh, it's probably because we've got the new campaign installed. Right, this will be... what was it? Greatest Go campaign. Salvager. We'll try and make it reasonably quick for a ship of its class. We do not want the awesomeness is, God, it was something awful, wasn't it? It was something like 2 meters a second top speed or something. No, 3 meters a second or something. It was incredibly slow. Dreadful. We will not be suffering that again. The other nice thing as well with this being a ship of its own, in its own right, is that this will be able to go out to gathering points on its own. It doesn't have to be built on them. It can be built at home and sailed out behind the main fleet and be just sort of moved on to the thing, which will lead to less downtime. What do I want? I want engines, don't I? Maybe engine pack. There we go. Don't need anything big. Have they got any small ones? 5x3x7? Is that probably too big, or will that be fine? That's probably fine, right? We'll need a bit of power for resource gathering. I don't mind it being a bit exposed. It's going to be a non-combat ship. This is one where, like, if it gets hit, we're not expecting it to survive. It will carry a bit more fuel. Not that we'll probably need it all. Then, where's the resources? We will also try to go for a somewhat historical-looking vibe. We will close some of this ship. We'll build it a proper bridge. This is maybe look a little bit like a... Maybe like a big converted fishing boat or something along those lines. Like a lobster boat is the very rough vibe I'm going for, but it will... Or like a... Maybe more like a barge, like we said originally, I think. But you get the idea, hopefully. And the idea is we will be more... come on, words, Doug, words. Use your English, you have it. We'll be offloading more often, is the idea. We'll try and set up... There's another thing brought up for the logistics, and again, I do agree. It was messy. We'll try and set up... I think you can set up constant routes that will repeat. We'll try and set up some actual supply ships that will be running out to gatherers, collecting from them and bringing it back, basically, is the idea. How much can these hold as is? 117,000. It's not a lot. Do we want a double stack? We might want to... I think we'll try double stacking because even if it makes the profile a little tall, because really we... Oh, no. Is it too heavy? Okay, that's weird. It still floats anyway, doesn't it? Of course. But yeah, we want it to be able to carry a reasonable amount, because even if we are going to be doing more common... supply runs, it obviously will still be a while between each one. There's also I know what we also need. We need an air pump. It's part of it, isn't it? Right. This lower hull section, we'll put the AI in here, I think, probably. Oh, is that actually working? Hang on. Get down at the bottom then. Okay, we're now floating. Set up a bit of a thing. The other thing we need to do, to be light as possible, it's not going to be solid at all, is actually remember to start putting doors on our ships. There's something else that was brought up, and it's like, yep, I absolutely agree. I had a tremendous issue actually getting out of the ships we were building. We need to actually put doors on things. We'll assume this one is like a sort of maintenance door into that area. Yeah, actually being able to get in and out of our crafts is going to be important. I don't think we'll be doing much piracy. That feels very sort of not fitting for the theme. Doesn't feel like it would really be realistic that you could jump into these crafts. Because we're assuming we don't have our minigun. We'd be on World War II era weaponry. At least I believe this is World War II era. It might be slightly after, given the British have the Gloucester jet. Or is it Gloucester or Meteor? I can't remember. It might be the Gloucester Meteor even. So I'm assuming it might even be slightly after. But yeah, we're going as if it is sort of World War II era. So again, I have a few designs roughly based on that. We'll try and make our ships look nice aesthetically. I always try to do that at least a little bit anyway, but... And the corner. Okay, that'll do for the resource holding. The other thing we'll do is give it a bit of a radar mast. It's a lightweight one, but we'll give it one. In fact, we'll actually use the mast from the ship decoration pack. We'll build the bridge and put the AI in and the gathering systems. The gathering could maybe be a crane. At least appearances-wise, we'll just put some... yeah, it's supposed to be vaguely based on the salvager, and we'll put some of the decorative cranes on the side. Custom cranes. We don't need the custom crane, we need the one-block cranes. Is that going to be too big? It is a nice... Definitely looks like a serious crane, but that's probably... yeah, it's too big for a vessel this size. There we go. And that's the engine room, but there we go. It's also now a crane. Loading and unloading and salvaging. Might even have to put a keel on this thing. It's not very steady in the water, but... Well, it shouldn't matter, right? I don't think it actually... Except, where is the gathering stuff? Resources. It's probably in a resource, isn't it? Yeah, oil drill. Underwater and cannot function... Okay. Can't function underwater, apparently. Oh, right. I suppose we can hang it from the crane, can we? No, I thought not. Okay, that should be alright. The resource gatherers on there. Oh. Another thing we'll need. We'll do the propellers in a minute because we want to actually, the AI. Go absolutely bog standard. Here's the pre-built. We do not need much on this. This does not need to be a particularly clever craft. It's also dirt cheap. I don't know if the costs are changed or the physics settings are changed because that is a thing you can do. I think we can see, though. Config. Yeah, I don't know what the base game uses, but I'm going to assume this is different. I'm going to assume normally everything's... Oh, yeah. Yeah, look, they're different. That's the default values. So what's different? Drag is reduced, so aircraft will fly a little faster. Buoyancy, I think most of it's the same, actually. Resource storage is halved. Okay, so you need more... Transports will have to be larger. Basically, you cannot carry as much damage. Automatic detection 1. Oh! That is interesting. Okay. We don't need detective systems. Or detective systems? Detection systems. If you have automatic detection accuracy set to 1, that means effectively detection systems are turned off. You don't need them. That's why the Yamato doesn't have proper rangefinders. So... we don't actually need rangefinders and things on our craft, is what that means. We'll probably still do it anyway. To some extent, but okay, cool. Also note, cram speed factor is set down to 2/3, but they're also not allowed. I'm not 100% sure on that. Was that meant to be something for balancing? I don't know. Anyway, right. Bad behavior. Resource gathering. Move ship. That can't actually do it at the moment because it can't move. So let's move it and let's let it move and let's also tell it can move. More propellers to the ship that size should realistically have, but it's fine. We'll go for semi-realistic. Let it still move at a somewhat reasonable speed. Okay, yeah, how fast are you, speaking of? Let's see, if we push you to your limit. Maximum speed. 20 meters a second. That's probably about 30 knots in real life, which is very quick. Is it actually going to maneuver to the resourcing spot and summon it? I think it will. Also tell it can, just to make sure it knows. We can reverse. We can be stationary. Hey, look at that. I think that's working. It will have... we're going to set some limits on repair bots, if they're even allowed. I'm going to set a limit to, like, 2 blocks per, like, size class, if that makes sense. So, like, destroyers can have 2. Submarines can have 2. Cruisers can have 4. Battleships can have 6. We don't want to go for repair bot spam, but we do want to allow some for the sake of, like, ease of repairs and logistics. Because, obviously, ships would have damage repair crews. They would have some ability to repair things on their own, but will mostly, presumably, want to be bringing them back to docks to repair. Right, I don't know that we need much else on this. I guess we could put a spawner on it so it can construct new ships. Actually, no, this isn't really a construction ship. We'll save that for the dockyard itself. We'll probably try and build an actual dockyard. So, next thing will, I believe, be a bit of a bridge. Not too complicated. Let's start with a door. Again, we want to be able to get out of this thing. Alloy, again, being lightweight. This doesn't need to be heavy. Whoops. Come on. Do we have some portholes or some glass or some windows? We have... Ooh, pardon me, windows, don't we? Better windows. Yeah, there we go. Actually look like you can see out of it. A very basic little cabin, this one, but... Oh, actually, yeah. Can we do them the other way up? Ah, we can, but not that bit. Actually, that's fine, because we can always deco that bit. Always deco the awkward bits to make it fit. Oh. Okay, no, it does need to be tall up. I did wonder on that, actually. Oh. Put the door back. Right. That's fine. That way, in that case, I can do what I wanted to do, which is to add a little bit of a slope to it. Let's go, yeah, like that. Yeah, I wanted to do this anyway, I should have. Oh, right, yeah, that's on the inside. Actually, no. Delete all. Right, that bit's, it's not going to line up ever, is it? Because that's on the wrong bit. Just realised. That's fine. Right. Is there a slope? Is there a window diagonal slope? I don't know what you would call it. Oh, there's wipers. Yeah, we'll definitely do wipers. The front, anyway. Definitely a rotary sight. Oh, that's for planes, isn't it? Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, wait, no, there's curves. Oh, I forgot about that. Hang on. Oh, there's slopes as well, but not quite what I was thinking. Okay, curve might be nice to try and put on some of our ships, like for the bridges. Yeah, we do need aesthetic, so if you guys have any idea for an actual sort of aesthetic for our ships, again, I'd like to have the Italian-style stripes, but that's kind of the only thing I've really settled on at the moment. I do like those decorative stripes. There might have been a reason for them as well, but I couldn't tell you what it is if there is one. If I actually leave a gap here at the back, this could be where the radar mast goes as well. And go ship decoration past. Radar mast. Oh, how far can we see? I don't even know if we're going to need to worry about the strategic map visibility, but we'll assume we're going to have to anyway. Masts. Where are masts on this? Mast blocks. Top mast, yard mast. I don't know. This might be another thing I have to learn, is which bits are which, but... Oh. Yeah, it won't matter too much, this one. We'll have a flagpole block at the top, but... Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. There's like heavier masts and lighter ones. Okay. Oh, okay, so that's how you go between those. That's fine. Right. We'll actually replace this with a block. AI, and we'll go. There we go. It's not great aesthetically, but I don't think there's much we can do about that without hiding it behind something. What we will do is try and add some rigging to make it look at least a little nicer. There's some mask coming off the side to make it look like they've sort of strung it to it. Right, wire, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know how they normally set it up. Is the problem. So we're going to be slightly guessing. There should be a rigging wire thing somewhere, right? Rigging parts. There we go. Hoisting flags. I mean, that makes sense for here, but I don't know where we put it. Okay, bear with me. I'm guessing a little bit here. Okay, we can do that. Wire. And then we need wire, 10 meters. That's fine. That's almost right, actually. Yeah, it's perfect. Then what was it? That's quite what I was thinking. We want the double connector, right? This one? Is that right? Yeah. Oh. Well, apart from it being slightly the wrong length, it's also in the wrong place. Oh, double end piece. Oh, is this... Yeah, okay, this is made so it can clip. The only thing is, it's right next to the staircase. Tell you what. We'll change the staircase up as well. We'll replace that with one of the nice decorative ones. Actually, we'll probably replace it with a ladder, right? That'll probably look better. Decorations, ladder welded. That would look good if we were on a metal ship, but the problem we aren't. There are some more stairs and things, right? Yeah. What is going on? Why are we... Oh, okay, might have to fix that as well. That's probably too much power. Oh, why can I not do that? I can do that, and then I can do... Their support, 1 meter. Is it 3 meters? 2 meters? 2 meters. There we go. Let's move these two in here. We'll actually also room this off. We'll put a second air pump on the outside. You can go there. This we don't expect it to be very durable. Doesn't mean we can't put a little bit of defense on it. At least section it off into its own thing. Right. Lights might be the other thing to have, maybe. Just because it's a non-combat craft, again, doesn't mean we can't have it looking nice. Here's a resource gathering craft, so it probably does need some utility spotlights. Also do a light inside the main craft. Why not? Do one above the doors as well on the rear and above the doors here. I wonder if it's worth even just replacing the wood with alloy and just doing it properly. It is very cheap at the moment. It will probably push the price up quite a bit. Tell you what we do need as well. We need a... we'll add a little bit of a keel as long as it doesn't look like it's just going to outright sink. And we will add a funnel, because that's the other thing it doesn't have. Which we can make one look good. Furniture. Oh! I get distracted by seeing nice things. It's got a sink. Add the kitchen sink to the ship. Oh, we've got the really traditional ship's bunk. Tell you what, we'll put one of those there. Oh, wait. Don't have the, yeah, does it not have the cable? It's got them there. Why doesn't it have the one that's added as a decoration? Yeah, it just isn't there. Is that some weird quirk? The way they've added it? I don't know. Tell you what, we can add it there and then... Oh, it fills in the wall anyway. There we go. A couple of bunks for crew. Sink. That can just be decorative. There we go. Captain's chair. Yeah, why not? Still a mighty vessel. Still deserves some love. It's probably too small to put tables in, but hey ho. Right. Anyway, that funnel. Where is the funnels? It's not going to be a big one. You know what I could do? I could make it deeper. I could add a second lightweight underdeck section to make it look more wieldy, maybe. Or make it work more wieldy. It might just be the engine power compared to the tiny size of it. Oh, no, it is definitely struggling. Okay, let's add a deeper little deck section. I guess we'll keep it as wood. Yeah, okay. Right. Blue. Oh, that's not what I meant. I meant to get rid of those two. But let's just make it, if we do 3 meter, just make it a bit deeper in general. 3 meter and then a straight. One of those. The curve won't match perfectly, but it should be good enough. Yeah, and then the same here. Whip. Oh, come on. Yes, one other thing we'll have to keep in mind during the campaign, of course, is that the way we build ships will have to be different because we're going to be entirely reliant on passive armor. We cannot do active defenses beyond decoys. Which I don't know how fair that's playing. I think some of the torpedoes and things have remote guidance on them. Oh, although now I think about it, I wonder if that's because they've set the automatic detection to automatic so the ships don't have the radar systems needed to properly guide them, maybe. Could be the case. Right. Air pump. There is now a little bit of a blow deck to the ship as well. Yeah, if we add a keel to stabilize it, I think this might be okay. The rudder tool, and maybe have to move the engines, but... Oh, these should be brass yellow. Right, now we had a bit of a lead keel. Not heavy armor. Heavy armor's too expensive. Lead. Let's make it a bit more expensive, but 6,000 for a flagship's not much. Not a flagship, our resource gatherer is really not much. This is way cheaper than the refinery was. If this works. Can't carry as much, but it's also not too bad on what it's carrying. And we now have a sealed airtight room, which helps as well. That seems to be a little better. Right, what does it do at top speed now? If we max it out, it tries not to fall over. 14. It's a lot slower now, but that's fine. Is it these resource containers? If I take these top ones off, does it steady out a bit? Oh, hello. That is looking a lot more steady. Okay. So it might just be that they're too tall. It probably looks more sensible like this anyway, to be fair. I don't like the fact that we lose quite a lot of storage, but that probably is more sensible. Although what we could potentially do is... Hang on a minute. Up. How much space they need? They go like there, don't they? We potentially cut through the deck. I'll have to move the water pump. Move that to the... right at the front there. and do resources. We could potentially do, yeah, like this, sunken into the deck a bit. Keep them lower, but have the same amount. Just plain wooden decking. Oh, in the right colour. Although, actually, that should be... It's a wooden deck. It should be wood coloured. It shouldn't be blue. Oh. Oh, what's happened there? Oh. Oh, I think I got the symmetry offset. Oh dear. Is that right? No, it was in the right place. It was just offset by to middle symmetry instead of the normal symmetry. Oh, yeah, and that's the wrong colour. Right. There we go. How does that do? That's got the same storage, but is lower. It's still a little wobbly. Ah, that might be the propellers as well. Let's take those off. See how it does just sitting on its own, and also if we take 4 out. Okay, if we take the top layer out. Better? Yeah, okay, I think it is a central mass issue. We'll go for 4 containers, that's fine. We'll keep them sunk in the deck like that, that looks okay. We will replace the wooden decking. No! Oh, it's not that! They are actually offset. Oh, I hate that. Nope, nope. We're doing that layer, that setup of containers, or at least having them even. Right. We'll send a mass quite high up. We'll want 2 huge propellers, probably going to be way too powerful. Yep, far too powerful. Maybe this is why the awesomeness is slow. The hull is inherently not very stable in this game. It ought to be, given the shape of it, but hey-ho. Let's get rid of the blue paint off the decking. Might want to maybe as a suggestion, because I was saying about the colour scheme thing, of course. I might suggest that we include a navy grey as one of the colours we use. Doesn't have to be the main one, but at least as an option that we have to colour our ships with. Why is there a block missing there? Put that back. Right. There we go. That looks okay. Right. If we max out, how fast do we go, and how much of a problem is the stability? It doesn't accelerate fast, I'll tell you that much, but that's good. You kind of don't want it to. 8 meters a second. 9. It is not fast. How about 2 more propellers? Is that okay? Nope. That's still okay. Well, that got up to? Let's see how fast it goes on average. It's going to come back to the thing, is it? You gotta go back to the gathering point? It is now. Oh. Okay. The decorations is of course critical, is we need a... Where is it? I don't know where it is. Come on, I know it's in here. It's gonna be, isn't it? There we go. Before we want the small anchor. Don't worry about the chain setup. We'll just add one so it's obvious the chain has one. The ship has one. Oh. Also, Just this is not clipping through the main ship. Hey, that looks alright. There we go. Got our anchor. It's not fast, but it can move. It should be reasonably sippy. It's got a resource consumption value, but it should be using nothing most of the time, I imagine, or not very much anyway. These will start to absorb material. Now, I believe one of the other things mentioned was to, as well as to save it and tell it it's actually a boat, not a plane.
Listening.
Right, you are a ship. Let's set this resource thing up right. You are a creator, cargo. I thought it was a gatherer type. Fill your resource storage. Given to user types. Okay. Surplus resources are transferred to cargo and user types. Oh, so it'd be a creator. Make sure you have a minimal amount, and you can keep it full energy. You want to keep a minimal amount so it doesn't shut down, but... Okay. I think we're good to go. This is the first craft of probably many. I like to think it looks reasonably nice. Again, you guys will hopefully be chipping in with some potential suggestions for our aesthetic and our sort of focus. We obviously, if we want to focus on a particular weapon type, do we want to be like a faction that uses loads of torpedoes or has loads of secondary guns or whatever? I'm going to take suggestions. Hopefully you've enjoyed this slightly different video and looking forward to what we're going to be doing next. And I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.